We will discuss about the file handling in Python. Okay, let me open VS Code. Just create a one file, that is file handling. File handling dot IPYNB, that is Jupyter notebook file. Press enter. Just create one code cell. Today we'll discuss file handling in Python. What does it mean by file handling? File handling means just means the file operation. Okay, means if I want to read a file or write a file, then in this topic, file handling, we are just discussing how to handle read and write operation into the file, onto the file. Okay, so first of all, we just discuss some few functions, that is open, open, just comment one here, open function. This is the built-in Python function. Okay, built-in Python function. Using this open function, we will open the file. Okay, either to write the file or read the file. Just we need to open the file. If my purpose is read, then also we need to open the file. If my purpose is to write into the file, then also we need to open the file. First open the file, then we can read and write. Okay, so Python provide the built-in function, that is open function. Okay, how, what is the syntax, sorry, syntax is this. Just use multi-line comment. Okay, syntax f equal to, like that we have a equal to open. After that we can give in double quote, means string format, we can give the path. Okay, we can just give path in string format. First parameter is path in string format. After that we give the mode. Okay, mode. Okay, this is the syntax. Path, just you can here write only path. We can write the syntax to write like this, f equal to, here we can, here we can use file or any variable we can use. This is the object reference variable. Okay, we can say this is the object or reference variable. Just here we can open, path and mode. This is the syntax to read and write the file. Okay, so if we write this syntax f equal to open, path and mode, then what we need to do, after file operation, after file operations means either read or write, whatever you want to do, after all the operation we need to close the file. Okay, we need to close the file. Like suppose I have created here f, or we can also write file. Okay, meaningful name. Okay, just file dot close. After the operation, we just need to close the file. Okay, but if you use, this is the first syntax syntax 1. If you use this syntax 2, then in this case you don't need to explicitly close the file. Okay, how? And this is the recommended approach, using this with open. After this, give the path, comma, and give the mode. Okay, and just after giving the mode, just create the alias or object like this. Okay, and after that colon and here you can read or write whatever the operation you want to do. Just suppose content, here I want to read the file, just then use, just create a variable that content, and here we can use file dot read. Okay, file dot read, we can read the entire content of the file. And in this syntax we don't we don't need to write close, means we don't close the file explicitly. Here we have explicitly closed the file. If you use this syntax, then you don't need to write close file explicitly. Okay, it automatically close after the file this block is executed. This block means after the indentation, whatever the code is written after this indentation, that will executed, and after that file will automatically closed. Okay, means this is the block. In Python there is no block means curly braces like that. Okay, we just use indentation. Okay, so after this, suppose I have given the indentation colon this one. After that we have write like that two more two lines. Then we need to write here. Okay, if we write this line from here, then that means this block is finished. Okay, like that. Indentation work here, not the block or curly braces. Block are not used, means curly braces. Using curly braces we don't here only indentation are used. Okay, indentation means like that, after colon whatever the line you want to execute after this, then we write here only in the same position. Okay, not like C sharp, we just create a block using opening curly braces and closing curly braces. Whatever the statement write in that both curly braces that are executed if the condition is true. Here is not no concept of curly braces. Okay, only indentation is followed. Okay, in previous video already I have discussed. You can go with previous video if not clear the indentation. Okay, so we have two syntax in Python to read and write a file. First one is this, second one is this. This is the recommended approach. We need to follow this one because we don't need to explicitly close the file. We don't required to explicitly close the file in the second syntax. Okay, now just create one more code cell, and here we just discuss the file modes in Python. Just I will give example file mode. Then first we will discuss read mode. Just we discuss R. R means read mode. Okay. What does it mean? What is it? What read mode means? Opens file for reading. Opens file for reading. Okay. And error if file not exists. Okay. If file not exists, then it will give error. Okay. Then what we will do, just we need to create here one file at the same path, just like data.txt. Okay, and I have write hello, this is the Python course, please like and subscribe my channel. Okay, suppose I have created one data.txt text file, and in this file I have write this lines, write these lines. Okay, just open it and make sure that your kernel is selected. Okay, to execute the code, Python code. Then I have created the data.txt file, and I want to read that file. Then what we will do, just use second approach with open and give the path, the because in the same directory, so you can directly write the file name data.txt, and second parameter is uh, mode. So you need to give the read mode, that is R, because we are just discussing the read mode. Okay, and just you create the alias, or we can say object. Okay, F, just colon and hit enter. Just content equal to f dot read. A read function is used to read the entire file. Okay, and whatever the file is whatever the available in the data.txt file, that is read by this read method. Okay, and that all are available in the content, so I need to print the content here. Content. Okay, so first I have just using the open function, I have given the path data.txt. After that read, and this is the mode. We are just reading the file using the f.read method. I have read this file data.txt, and content is assigned in this variable, and just I have print this one. If the data.txt is not available, then in that case it will give error. Okay, open file for reading. Error if file not exist. If this file is not exist, then it will give error. This read method will give error. Okay. So when I hit the play button, then we get the result. Hello, this is the Python course. Please like and subscribe my channel. Okay. And now we will just discuss another mode, that is just modify file modes in Python. Now we discuss another mode, that is W. W means write mode. Okay, write mode. Sorry, write mode. Here, what we will do? Create a new file if not exist. In the write mode, what happens? Create a new file if not exist. Okay. In the case of write mode, W mode, create a new file if not exist. If the file is not exist, then it will create a new file. Create a new file if not exist, and overrides existing content. If the file is available and if file is available, then it overrides. When it overrides the existing content. Okay, create a new file if not exist, and if file is available, then it's override the existing content. Okay, file mode in file modes in Python, that is W mode, write mode. Okay, in this one we will just use the same function with open. Here we need to just give the uh, mode W. Okay, what I will do, just here I have used data1. If the data1.txt is not available, source, if the data1.txt is not available, create a new file if not exist. So data1.txt is not available, so it will create. And if create a file if not exist, and if file is available, then it override the existing content. So first I will show if the file is not available. This file is not available in write mode. I have just opening in write mode. This file is not available, so it will create the fresh file, and I will read. I will write here, write some content like hello, how are you, like that. Just I have, because this data1.txt is not available, so it will create a new file with the name data1.txt. F.write, write the content, and just after writing the content, no need to print, just I am writing the content, or we can okay, just I am writing the content. Okay, I'm not reading, just I am writing. I will read. Just hit the play button. What it will do, it creating the new data1.txt and write hello, how are you. Okay, hello, how are you, that is written. And what happen if you use data.txt, then if the create a new file, if the if not exist, so this data1.txt is, sorry guys, uh, create a new file if not exist. Okay, and if file is available, then it override the existing content. Okay, so in first case data1.txt, in that case the file is not exist, so it will create the fresh file. Okay, because that was not exist. And if file is available, so in the second case this data.txt is available, then it override the existing content. So I have this one, hello, these two lines. Okay, but what happened here, overrides the existing content. Just I have tried here. Currently in data.txt I have two lines, but what will happen if I execute this code? Because the file is already exist, then what will override the content? Just execute and see data.txt. Okay, what happened? The two lines is both two lines are overwritten by this first one line. What? Why? Because if the file here I have already said that if file is available, then it overrides the existing content. Existing content remove and new content is write. This is the write mode. Okay, and what is the append mode? Just create a new code cell. Now we will discuss file mode in Python, and that is currently we will now we will discuss a for append mode. This is append mode. What happen in append mode? In append mode, add data at the end of file. Create file if not exist. Okay. Create a new file if not exist. In the case of append, create a new file if not exist. And if file is available, then adds the data at the end of file. And if file is available, then it adds the data at the end. At the end. Okay, what is difference between append and write mode? What is the difference between write mode and append mode? You can see in both the cases create a new file if not exist. In append, in the case of append, if the file is not available, then it will create a new file. In write mode also, if the file is not available, not exist, create a new file if not exist. If the file is not available, then in the both cases, create new file. But in the second case, what happen? If file is available in the case of write mode, W mode, if the file is available, then it overrides the existing content. But in the case of append mode, if file is available, then it adds data at the end. Okay, at the end, data is added, not overwrite. This is the difference between append mode and write mode. So we'll see the example. Just I will use data 2, and here I will use the mode WA, append mode. Okay, because data 2 is not available, I will write append. Here you can see append mode, append mode, file not exist. Okay, just we are seeing the example of append mode. In that case, when the file is not available, we have data and data 1, but data 2 is not available. Then in this case, it will create a data2.txt and write this content append mode file not exist. Okay, file not exist. file not exist, then it will create a new file and write this content. Okay, just add the, then it will created data2.txt, and in this append mode file not exist, it will create it created new file data2.txt and write the content here. Okay, and if same file currently, now the data2.txt is available, right? Now data2.txt is available. Okay, and I want to write something. Hello, calling, hello, I am append mode, like that. Hello, I am append mode. So in this case, currently this data2.txt is available. Okay, and data2.txt have append mode file not exist, this is the content. If we have this write mode, then it will just remove the existing content and write this one, but this is the append mode, so it will append the text at the end. Append or adds the data at the end. Okay, so it will add the data at the end here. Okay, here this will added, but I write new line before add, so it will just uh, this line place in new line and then print this one. Okay, so just execute it and see append mode file not exist, after that hello I am append mode. Okay, because firstly I have used the new line character to go into the new line. If you don't use new line here and just execute one more time, then here your data is appended here only. After that, this will print. After that, here data appended. So if you execute one more time, then you can see data is appended here. Okay, this is the append mode. Okay, now we can just create one more code cell, and now we can discuss exclusive mode. What does it mean by exclusive mode? X for exclusive, 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 create, create mode. We can say exclusive create mode. What does it mean by create a new file? This will also create a new file. Create a new file. Error if file already exists. What does it mean by exclusive mode? Create a new file, and error if file already exists. It will show error if the file is already exist. If the file is not already exist, then it will create a new file. In the case of append mode, if the file is not already available, then it will create a new file. If the file is available, then in that case data is appended at the end. But in this case exclusive, if the file is not available, then it create a new file. If the file is already exist, then it will show an error. And the case of write mode, I have also discussed what happened. In write mode, if the file is not available, then it create a new file. If the file is available, then overwrite the content of the file in the write, in the case of write mode. Okay, in the exclusive mode, create mode, it will create a new file, and if file is already exist, then it will create it will give an error. In the case of read mode, if we try to read the file and the file is not available, then it will give an error. If the file is not available, then it will give error. Error if file not exist. Okay, in the case of read, how we can read if the file is not available? That's why it will give an error if the file not exist. If the file exists, then we can read easily. But here in the case of exclusive create mode, if the file is not available, then it will create a new file. If the file is already available, then at that time it will give an error. So just copy the same syntax here and open just data 3. If the file data 3 is not available, then in that case it will create a new file, and I will use the exclusive mode x as f dot write, and here hello I am exclusive mode. Hello, I am exclusive mode. This data3.txt is not available. So in this case, exclusive mode, it will create a new file. If the file is not exist, then it will create a new file. So when I press the play button, then it will it create it will it is created the data3.txt. Hello, I am exclusive mode. Okay, and suppose if the data is already, so the file is already available, that means data2.txt, data2.txt, that file is available, that file is available. In the case of exclusive mode, if the file already exists, data2.txt is already exist, data3.txt is already exist. So if we try to execute this one, then in this case we will give this will give an error, because error if file already exists, data3 is already exist, data3.txt is already exist. So in this case it will give an error here, file exist error. Okay, this is the exclusive mode, file exist error. Okay, so this is the example of if the data4 file is not available, then hit the button, it will create a new file, data4.txt, and write the content. Okay, so this is the exclusive mode of the file. Okay, here after that we have R plus mode, that is read and write mode. After that we have W plus mode, that is write and read mode. We have A plus mode, append and read mode. Okay, and read and write mode, binary file mode. So in next video we'll discuss all remaining operations of the file handling. Okay, okay, that's all. Thank you.